Hey, you guys, I'm so excited. This is day number 2 of the magazine release of the Women Making Her Story. Look, yesterday we had some amazing women, but today we have some other phenomenal women. These are iconic women. They're doing a thing in the world. We talk about women that's traveling all over the world, empowering lives, impacting lives, changing lives, and she is making her story count. So look, if you're coming in, go ahead and like, tag, share, comment, all those amazing things so we can get some other women on the line to be empowered and inspired so that she can start her journey and making her story count. So look, I'm not even going to wait. I'm going to bring the first phenomenal woman to the stage. And listen, me and this young lady, we go back a couple of years. We go back of the first year of the Queendom Takeover Tour in 2018. So without further ado, I want to bring Mona Gray to the fire stage. Mona!
Angela, hello, girl. It's been a minute.
Yes, ma'am. I see you doing your thing.
Listen, I'm trying to be like you, girl.
Look, you're doing an amazing job just being Mona Gray. I'm so super proud of everything you're doing. I've been stalking you. I
Oh,
so
I love being stalked.
you love it. Stop. Yes, I love everything you're doing. So just give us a little bit of moment and tell us who you are.
Yes. Well, hello. My name is Mona Gray. I am the CEO and founder of Clear the Gray Coaching, where I help you put your future into focus. So, Clear the Gray Coaching is pretty much what it sounds like, right? A lot of us are, well, a lot of women, let's just say, are stuck in their past and they can't get to the future. So, they need to clear the gray areas of their life. And so, I help them find what they already have inside and help them clear the gray areas of their life so that they can have a brighter future.
I absolutely love that. So when I first seen you post that on Facebook, I instantly thought of shadow work. I instantly thought of, you have all these things that you know you should be doing, the things that you're tolerating, but you're trying to move forward and you figuring out why. And this is where Mona come in. I love it.
Absolutely, absolutely. The biggest thing for me is I didn't know where to go, right? And so I literally prayed about it. Like I go before the throne, like pretty much for everything. And God said, you know what? It's time for you to help others in the areas that I've helped you, right? And so, but I didn't know what it was going to do. I didn't know what it was going to be called. I didn't know anything. And so He said, you know what? It's time to play on your name. So I was like, okay, Mona Gray. And then there we go, clear the gray. And so I took it, and now my favorite color is gray. Everything is gray.
That's mine. You know what? It just dawned on me, Mona Gray, clearly
Yeah.
gray. Duh.
Yep. Yep. I was like, oh, I like that. Thank you, Lord.
Absolutely love it. So, give us just a little glimpse of you creating your legacy while you're living and how you're making your story count.
Absolutely. Well, a couple years ago, when I went and got my MBA, literally had no idea what I wanted to do, right? I got an MBA just because it sounded good, right? I mean, it was just something to do. I had literally no idea on where I wanted to go with it. And so I COVID happened and we were all stuck in the house, right? And so a friend of mine said, "Hey, listen, you know what? I have a position available and it's in mental health." And I was like, okay, I don't know anything about mental health, but I'm pretty smart, right? I can Google. I mean, me and Google University, we were best friends. And so I went into mental health. And because I went into mental health, I've learned so much, not only about myself, but about our community, not only about our community, but about my children. I didn't realize that there were so many things that they were suffering with that I had no idea. I'm like, "Oh, we're gonna pray about it. We're gonna pray about it." And there's only so much prayer you can do. So I said, "Okay, you know what? I had to pivot." And I said, "Okay, I'm gonna put that MBA to the side and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna learn more about mental health, right?" And so I started to learn more about my past, right? My past in mental health, and I started to see the trauma that I've been through, all the times that I've had to block things out to protect myself. I noticed that other people were doing the same thing, right? So I like to call myself the boundary hunter because I help people set boundaries, right? That is my biggest thing, helping people set boundaries, right? So boundaries, they're not walls, they are gates and they're fences that allow us to respect our needs while honoring the freedom of.
Mona is having a little bit technical difficulty, so we're going to give her a moment to come back on. So if you're just coming on, make sure you like, tag, share all those amazing things so we can get more women on the line as we are celebrating the fourth edition of the Her Fire magazine, Women Making Her Story. I'm so super excited. And I'm going to go to the next woman that's coming to the stage while Mona, as Mona come back, none other than a killer pitch master herself, none other than Precious Williams. Hello, sis queen. How you doing?
What's up, Queen? You know what it is. Come on now. You know what it is.
Listen, since you have embraced the fire stage for the first time, tell everybody who you are, what you do.
Okay. Well, everyone, my name is Precious Williams. I am the proud founder and CEO of the Perfect Pitch Group. You are looking at a full figure diva, a plus size fashionista who took every perceived flaw and made it my secret weapon. I'm a 13-time national elevator pitch champion, five-time number one best-selling author, and a top Fortune 100 corporate sales trainer. Yes, I've been on TV shows and documentaries and media around the world. I am Black on both sides, no Brazilian butt lift, no six-pack abs. My clients include the Googles, the LinkedIn's, the Microsofts, the Federal Reserve Bank, HubSpots, and all of them. But more importantly, I'm a woman who's going through a lot to be where I am today. So when they said I was too fat, too Black, and didn't have an Ivy League degree, they didn't know one day I'd teach at Harvard and Columbia. I'm a proud Spelman grad, a proud Rutgers School of Law grad, been kicked out of law school, had nervous breakdowns, been homeless, all sorts of things have happened in my life. And yet at 45 years old, I am the killer pitch master, AKA the ultimate rainmaker, AKA the creative outsider, AKA the atmosphere shifter. And I literally train sales teams. I train students at colleges and universities. I train women how to package, position, and pitch themselves, whether that's for your investment, whether that's for media opportunities, whether that's to get paid. Did you hear what I said? Paid speaking engagements on some of the biggest stages in the world. That is who I am, Precious Williams, proud founder and CEO, Perfect Pitch Group.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. I told y'all. So look, me and Precious, we have a history that is so crazy and phenomenal. But let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell everybody this, right? So if y'all did not know, I do have a life coaching certification, right? And
Mhm.
there was this amazing movie called Leap, and I was watching this movie one day, and I was like, "This is a really great movie. I need to incorporate this in my life coaching class."
Mhm.
And Precious story drew me in, being another Black phenomenal woman doing her thing. I said, I want to utilize her story so that my clients can see the power of coaching. Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, the movie was phenomenal. Your story phenomenal. To see you then to see you now was is this phenomenal, and that's why Precious is so dear to my heart. And it was so funny. I was scrolling through Instagram and I seen one of her ads. I was like, hold on, she looked familiar. Like, hold on. So, me being who I am, the search bar, I searched her name on Facebook. I said, we've been friends for the last 5 years. And I did not know this was the same Precious Williams that I've been using her story in the Allie. Do you remember her in the movie Leap? In the life coaching, you have to go back and look at it. One of my other clients that are on here, she went to life coaching class.
Uh-huh.
This is just so phenomenal. Even had a client to reach out that went to the class, seen the movie,
Yup.
all those things. So look, you got to understand the power of connection. I always
True.
tell people you have to be careful how you treat people because you never know when they will come back around. And
Hashtag bounce back harder. You
I'm
never
telling
know.
you never know. Precious is one of those women that I never thought that would be here that I first was introduced to her in 2017, 16.
Because we filmed it in we filmed it in Santa Monica, Malibu, because they set me up in an apartment, and then we filmed in Milan, Italy, New York City, and that preceded my appearance on Shark Tank.
Yes. So let's talk about, I just want to talk about this. Let's just talk about your experience in pitch competitions, Shark Tank, having clients to get deals, $1 million deals on Shark Tank. Let's talk a little bit about that because that plays in how you have made history, how you have helped change other people's lives. So let's talk about that journey and how it was for you and your growth, in your personal growth and development as a speaker and as a coach.
Well, to be quite honest with you, Queen, as you know, I went to law school, was an award-winning attorney in the great state of New York. And I always felt like there was something else I was supposed to do. Like, I was like, this is cool, but I can't imagine doing this for 40 years. I'm working at a top firm, clerk for federal judge in Southern District. And yet I felt really unfulfilled. Looking at my relationship with my fiance, like I left him March 15, 2010, never knowing that a very famous Hollywood actor and I would date. I was 327 pounds. That tells you how far in the muck and mire I was. And that man made me feel like, whoa. And I could not believe that I couldn't find lingerie. I couldn't find it. At 327 pounds, your size 28, I'm 5'9", and couldn't go to Victoria's. I couldn't go to all these places. And it really irritated me. Agent Provocateur, Journal, Wolfer. I'm in New York, so I have access to these really great lingerie stores, and they made me feel bad for being a size 28. And so I looked at him, I thought about it, and God put it in my mind. Curvy Girls lingerie. And I'm like, I can't sew, I can't draw, I can't do anything. He's like, yeah, that's what you're gonna do. So I had the idea, was pitching it to family and friends, because those are the people supposed to help you in the beginning. That is not what happened. No one believed in me. They said, you're an attorney, you're a Black woman, that's the best you can do. And I was like, no, if I was somebody else, yeah, would tell me, go follow my bliss, go follow my passion. But because I'm a Black woman, I'm gonna be limited, not by anybody. So when everybody told me no, I used every dollar I had. Negative $400 in my bank account, went to an event I couldn't afford. And my back was against the wall, and I wound up pitching to the producers of MSNBC. And that first pitch got me on Your Business with J.J. Ramberg, February 9, 2012, where in 54 seconds, I walked away with $500,000. The investors told me you need to enter pitch competitions. I'm thinking, there's no way. I don't sound like any of the guys. I don't sound like any of the girls. I didn't want to go to the Google School of Pitching. They're like, we think you'll smoke the competition. And I won 13 out of 14 times against people who look nothing like me, cool tech companies, international companies. And here I'm a little Black girl from St. Louis, Missouri with an accent, too fat, too Black, no Ivy League degree, wiping up the floor. And then people were begging to pay me to teach them how to pitch because they saw how I did it. And next thing I know, I started Perfect Pitches by Precious. Now I'm filming a movie with the world's greatest coaches, living in California, a little Black girl from the hood. How did that happen? Next thing I knew, 7 of my clients were on Shark Tank. All were funded. Shark Tank, they called me, did a private audition, flew me out September 11, 2016, filmed September 15th. They came and did a home, and I smoked the Sharks. The Sharks are still to this day like, that was incredible. You are supremely talented. I had no idea. Like I said, that actor is deceased. And it took a lot out of me. I couldn't run my company anymore. Wound up becoming an alcoholic, a severe alcoholic, homeless on the streets of New York. And everybody told me my life was over. I'll never be on stage again. I've ruined so many things. They blocked me and everything. And I said, okay, I tried to take my life on my 38th birthday. So to be 45, living my dreams is a lot. I came out of homelessness September 1st, 2018. And God said, your second chapter is going to be better than your first. So I came back with a vengeance like Beyonce. I said, I'm going all the way to the top. I'm not going any place with people who blocked me and said it was over. I went to places where people didn't know my backstory. I did a pitch and they were opening doors for me because they didn't need to know my backstory. All they needed to know was my talent. And before I knew it, some of the biggest companies in the world wanted me to train their sales teams. Some schools wanted me to train their students to do things that their career services could not do. So when I say I'm Black on both sides, no Brazilian butt lift, no six-pack abs, it's because I want every woman to know that our perceived flaws are really our secret weapon because they never see you coming. And there are people who think that there's only one way to the top, and there's several ways. And so in the end, last year we rebranded from Perfect Pitches by Precious because our clientele was going higher and higher. And we became the Perfect Pitch Group, where I teach rainmaking, where I'm bringing the legal training back into it, pairing that with entrepreneurship. And now you really gonna get the best of me. So welcome to the plot twist and flipping the script. At 45 years old, I feel like I just began. And who knew that little girl from St. Louis, nobody wanted, will be the woman who shows other women how to ball when all odds are against you.
Yeah. She's trying to make me cry, y'all.
No! Wait, I'm sitting in a hotel in Connecticut getting ready to speak at Bay Path University. Let's get it.
Let me tell you, this is why she being featured in Women Making History. This is why. I always believe in celebrating women while they're living.
Come through.
Celebrating women, and sometimes we are overlooked because of what we look like, because we don't fit the status quo, or because we go against the grain. I love celebrating my sisters who don't mind uplifting other women. And this is what the Her Fire, the Fire Girl, and everything that I do is all about. It's saying, hey, sis, I see you. Hey, sis, I celebrate you. Hey, sis, here's a platform for you. Hey, sis, I'm not jealous of you. Hey, sis, I got your back. I'm pushing you. I'm rooting for you because I know who I am and I know who you are. And I'm not intimidated or afraid of your greatness. I celebrate your greatness. I highlight your greatness. This is what I do because I'm so honored that every woman that's featured in being a part of my history and doing this magazine, I'm honored to have each and every one of you on the pages of the Her Fire magazine. I am honored that you guys fit the pages of this publication. And I am honored to have you, Precious. So look, Precious, if you were to give 3 tips on how a woman can start making her story count, what would you tell them? Just take about 3 to 5 minutes and just pour into them how they can make her story.
For my queens, if you want to get your story heard, if you want to truly build that legacy that shows other women that no matter how hard you fall, you always #bounce back harder. Number one, you have to know you've got to stand out every day. So y'all see me with this. I'm blonde ambition today. Tomorrow I might be blue smoke. The next day I might be purple haze. I change my wigs like I change my underwear because it's part of my brand of being bold and standing out. I wear certain colors because I want people to understand that I am constantly in the mode of showing that what the world says you need to look like, you don't. I am professional grade, but please believe I was a bad bee with a power pitch before I became the ultimate rainmaker. And when people said it, all these no's, I had to remember Ariana Grande, thank you, next opportunity. But you will be back because no grass grows under my feet. So you saying no today, you'll be back tomorrow, I promise you. Another thing I want you all to think about is who's in your network that can amplify you. We all have diamonds in our backyard, I promise you. I've known people for years and I was afraid to reach out until one day I said, well, if I'm the killer pitch master, let me show you how to pitch for profit and have others amplifying you and saying your name for opportunities. So I met with my VIPs, put a little message to them, met with them, and I let them know that just what you see on social media, that's just the surface. Let me show you where I'm going. And then I would write every month or every other month, I would send a VIP email and let them know of things that are coming because I wanted them to understand that. I know the pandemic, economic downturn, social unrest, inflation, recession, all that kind of stuff. Even in the midst of all of that, I'm still doing it. And y'all getting first dibs. What did that do? When I made my big ass to them to do something, they already had the track record, and the answer was always yes. And so when I did the plot twist and changing up, I'm no longer just a killer pitch master. I wanted them to know where we're going with Rainmaker and where we're going with live events and things like that. The things that I finally said, I am tired of people thinking the only thing I do is pitch. I can package, position, then pitch. I can show you how to develop business development skills, client acquisition systems, sales, because I've had to do that for most of my life. And now it's time to unleash the beast on everyone else. So whoever your VIPs are, you may be afraid to say something to them. Have a 15-minute conversation, you do a Zoom, and let them see beyond the surface everybody else sees, so that they know that when things go down, they got first date, they're seeing it first. And when you make that big ass out, could you connect me to? Could you do this? I'm about to launch this. They already like, I'm ready to sponsor. What? Third thing, and our queen definitely said this, Angela, you have to go against the grain. I am still a full-figure diva. When I would write to media, when I write to journalists and stuff, I would say, have you ever met a full-figure diva who's taken the business world by storm and won big? Well, now you have. Introducing Precious Williams, and I would go into it because I knew that if I started with a question, a startling statistic, or a quote, instead of my name and the name of my company, which no one cares about until you give them a reason to care. How many times have you met a full-figure diva, a Black woman who is not in entertainment or sports, who built a business when people threw me to the wolves? And now I show other women how to do it. You may think you're too big. You may think you don't have a Coke bottle body. I don't. And I've been in movies and documentaries around the world. What are we talking about? There are things you have in your arsenal that the world keeps telling you you don't have, or you need to grow up with connections, you need to grow up with wealth. We can build it on the way up. So my accent has not changed. They told me I needed to do that. It hasn't changed. And I'm all over the world speaking. 4, I only pitched because no one believed in me and my family and my friends. And when you pitch to the right people, that was the game changer. They understood we need to invest in her. We can see where she's going. And when I went on Shark Tank, and this is something big I want y'all to hear when I say, I went in a low-cut canary yellow peplum dress and Afro and extreme makeup, because I knew there were 2 audiences I was playing to, the sharks and the people at home. So we're going to give them a show, because this is entertainment as well as educational. Give them a show. So when I stood on my mark, and I looked the sharks in the eye, because I wanted them to know I'm not afraid of nothing y'all coming with. What did that guy say? Where did they get a load of me? I heard Nas, and he said, all I need is one mic. Action. Let's go. And I'm pitching, and I'm looking them in the eye, and I want to make sure they know I'm not afraid. I've been to the hood. I've been homeless. I've been an alcoholic. I've had people throw me away, and I'm standing before you showing that it can be done. And to have Mark Cuban say, you go, girl. And Robert Herjavec stand up and say, watching you is like watching a master at their craft. What they did not know is that in a couple of months, everything would be over. But before that, how many challenges did I go through and keep facing the world and say, I'm not giving up. God's going to do this. So show up ready at all times. Bring your best self to the table. And everything they say is wrong with you, I want you to amplify that. Because there are other women. Ty Goodwin always says this: when a woman steps into her purpose, another woman can step into hers. And one thing that women will always say about me, even men, is I didn't know you could truly be yourself and have people ready to throw money at you, ready to pay you, have bookings. I have an agent. All these years I didn't have an agent. I have an agent. She works on commission. And she always gonna make sure she eating. So I'm eating. Most importantly, I bet on myself. Like Beyonce, she said, I don't gamble. But if I'm gonna bet on anything, I'm gonna bet on myself. So I stand before you, 7 years clean and sober. 7 years after I tried to take my own life at 38. I stand before you that if you took every accolade away from me, I'm still gonna stand tall, because I am Precious Williams, the best there is, the best there was and the best that'll ever do it. Shout out to Bret Hitman Hart, WWF, WWE. And I'm named after my grandmother, who said at 16 years old, I'm gonna change the world with my voice. And when I speak, people listen. And it only took me in my 40s to truly understand what she meant. And so I hope with my story and the things that I said today, don't ever let anybody shame you or guilt you out of your greatness. Talk to your creator, let him bless you, and go out there like you mean it and want to succeed like your next breath. And that's the only reason I'm here today. Clean, sober, a better friend, a better CEO, a better sister. Because I never want a woman to give up on her dreams because she thinks she needs a co-signer. Co-sign yourself. Thank you.
I gotta drop my mic. Ooh. Listen. Precious Williams, she just came and killed it. Look, if you guys are not inspired by her story, shame on you. If you guys are not touched by the words that she said, shame on you. If you guys did not take those $1 million tips she just gave y'all, shame on you. I took them. I'm finding me. I need an agent. Hey, can I get your agent? An agent that works on commission, baby. Okay. Listen. Precious, I gotta tell you this for real. So when I read your bio, I said, well, I gotta redo my bio. She said, have you ever seen a full-figured diva that is taking, I think you said taking the speaking industry by storm? I said, have you ever seen a freckle-faced female trailblazer that is setting the world on fire? I was like,
come through.
Look, sometimes you got to be you can glean from some great women. I'm one of those women that it don't take me long to learn something from somebody. I'm one of those. If you open your mouth, I'm like, here, give it to me, give it to me.
I mean, it ain't bragging if it's true. I just got to remind people, I'm a brag, but it ain't really bragging because it's true.
Exactly.
And I'm not going to dim my light for nobody.
And that's what a lot of women, especially a lot of Black women, have a problem with shrinking back. Baby, it's not the 1870s. You have a voice now. You're not enslaved. We're not being segregated. You have a voice now. You don't have to sit in the background. You can step to the forefront. You don't have to dummy down. You can show your intelligence. You don't have to make other people feel big while you make yourself small. You can be big and great, and they can be big and great at the same time. So let's give Precious a hand clap. Yes.